Good morning. By now, you must be all very comfortable with the concept of indefinite integrals and how to apply integrals to questions just by inspection. But many a times, just by inspection, not all questions can be done. Like for example, in exercise 7.1, if you just see the first 6 questions. Now in the first question we have to find the integral of sine 2x. Okay, now we know how to find the integral of sine x, but here instead of x we have 2x. We aren't aware of how to deal with this. Similarly, the second function says that second question says that find the integral of cos 3x dx. Again the same problem. We know the integral of cos x, but we don't know the integral of cos 3x. Similarly, the next one is e raised power of 2x. This again is a function of a function. Question number 4, we have I is equal to ax plus b whole square. So it's a function of a function of a function. So basically you have, it's not even x square, it is ax plus b whole square dx. So basically all these functions which are not direct functions or simple functions but functions of a functions. Okay, we need to find, we cannot apply the result of integrals just by inspection. Okay, so what we do, let's see. Now first one, so instead what we do is sine 2x dx. Now we need to convert it into the standard form to be able to use the standard results. So for that, let us make a substitution that in place of 2x, let's write t. So let 2x equal to t. Now this will become sine t. But here this is still dx over here. So you can't have integral of sine t with respect to x. So it should either be in x alone or in t alone. So if you are replacing this 2x with t, you need to make corresponding changes to dx also. So what do we get? If 2x is equal to t, differentiating we get 2 is equal to dt by dx, and from here you can write it as 2 dx is equal to dt. Okay, so we have simply applied the process of differentiation here, but we write it in form of total derivative. So either you write this first and then take this dx to this side, or you directly write from here. You can write 2x equal to t gives us 2 dx is equal to dt, which gives us dx is equal to dt by 2. Substituting, we get in place of dx we will be writing dt by 2, and so we get I is equal to, this being a constant can come outside the integral, half of sine t dt. Now here we observe it's in the standard form. Whether we are writing x or we are writing t, it's in the standard form because here it is sine t and which is being integrated with respect to t. So directly we apply the result, that is integral of sine t is minus cos t plus a constant. Okay, now again t is something which we have introduced. We can't report the answer in terms of t when the question was given to us in terms of x. So substituting t back in terms of x, we get I is equal to minus half cos of, in place of t you will write 2x plus c. And so this is the result. Another important thing here which we notice is, when you differentiate a function of this kind, obviously it's a function of a function. When you differentiate, the you have to apply chain rule, and so the coefficient of x gets multiplied, like derivative of sine 2x will be equal to the you will get cos 2x and this into derivative of 2x, which gives you 2 cos 2x. Whereas in case of integral, you write the integral of this function and the coefficient gets divided. So this further shows that derivative and the process of differentiation and the process of integration are inverse of each other. Here, in case of a function, when you differentiate, you multiply by the coefficient, whereas in case of a function, when you integrate, you divide by the coefficient of x. This is one thing. Another thing is, just to cross check that this is the correct answer for this, what should we do? We know that integral of sine 2x is also called as the antiderivative. It means that if you differentiate this function, you should get back sine 2x. Let's see that. So it's a check, and this is just, I'm doing it just to make it more clear to you all. You don't have to show it with every question. So you find derivative of minus half cos 2x. Here we are just verifying whether we have done the process correctly or not. Okay, so what do we get? Minus half is as it is. Here we will apply chain rule. So first of all, derivative of cos is minus sine, and this 2x gets carried down as it is, into derivative of 2x is 2. Now observe, this 2 and this 2 gets cancelled, this minus and this minus gets cancelled, and you are left with sine 2x, which is what we started with, that integral of sine 2x, we got it as minus half cos 2x, and here we have seen that the derivative of minus half cos 2x is equal to sine 2x. Okay, so it means we are justified in doing this process, or that this is a correct way of finding the derivative of a function of function. Similarly, let's take up the next question, that is question number 2. It says that I is equal to cos 3x dx. Okay, you can use substitution, that is put 3x equal to t, which gives us 3 dx is equal to dt, which gives us dx is equal to dt by 3. Substituting, we get I is equal to cos of t. In place of dx, we will write dt by 3. This is equal to 1 by 3 cos t into dt, which gives us I is equal to 1 by 3. Integral of cos t is sin t plus a constant. Now since t is a variable which we have introduced, we can't leave it in terms of t, and so what we do is we write it as 1 upon c, replacing back t in terms of x, we get sine 3x plus c, which is the answer. Now you will observe here, this can be, if you want, you can directly arrive at this result also, just as a reverse process of chain rule. So what do we get? When you integrate this function, what do we get? First of all, integral of cos 3x will be sine 3x. Okay, and in case of differentiation, when you apply chain rule, you multiply this by the derivative of this. But here what we are going to do, we are going to divide it by the coefficient of x. So sine 3x upon the coefficient of x is 3x is coefficient of x is 3, so you divide it by 3. So directly also you could have written this answer. So it's up to you, you want whichever way you are comfortable. But the only thing is you have to be careful about is that in case of function of a function, you can do this, that it's only the coefficient of x which gets either multiplied in case of differentiation, or it gets divided in case of integration. So let's take the next kind of question, which is question number 4, or let's take the third one first. So I, which is similar to this, it is e raised power of 2x dx. If you write it directly, the integral of e raised power of something is e raised power that, so e raised power 2x upon the coefficient of 2, which is coefficient of x, which is 2, plus c. This is the direct way. But if you make the substitution, so put 2x as t, it gives us 2 dx is equal to dt, which gives us dx equal to dt by 2. So I comes out to be e raised power t into dt by 2, which is half of e raised power t dt. I comes out to be half. Integral of e raised power t is e raised power t plus c. Replacing back t in terms of x, we get half e raised power of 2x plus c, which is what we had got directly also. Okay. Now question number 4. It gives us I is equal to ax plus b. Now first of all, ax plus b whole square into dx. So first of all, let's take up a more general question, that is, suppose we had ax plus b into dx, then we would have taken the substitution as ax, no, this would have been I is equal to ax dx plus b integral of dx, and I comes out to be ax squared by 2 plus bx plus c. This is what we observe when we have to find integral of ax plus b. But now here it is not ax plus b. Here what is given to us is ax plus b whole square. So it's a function of a function. So here we have to make substitution. So put ax plus b is equal to t. We get a into the derivative would be a plus 0, okay, into dx is equal to dt, that is a dx equal to dt. This gives us dx equal to dt by a. So what do we get? This I becomes equal to t squared into dt by a, which on solving gives us 1 upon a t squared dt, which gives us 1 upon a. Integral of t squared is t cube by 3 plus c, and this gives us 1 upon a. You have to replace back the value of t. So what do we get? ax plus b whole cube, and this 3 is already there, plus 1 by a into c. This is another constant because a is also a constant, c is also a constant. This can be written as 1 upon 3a ax plus b whole cube plus another constant k, which is the answer. Okay, same way you can do question number 5 and question number 6 also. So with this exercise is over. Thank you.